Hi guys, so this is going to be the last training video prior to the pro debut, and thought it'd be fitting to finish it in future and fitting to do the shoulder session once again. However, with this one, Craig had the great idea of asking some of the followers on Instagram to submit questions. So what we're going to do is we'll do the session, obviously talk you through why I'm doing certain things in the session, and then run through some of the questions as well. So basically today, the volume's now stripped to one set on everything except the first exercise and the tricep work. The tricep work's always going to be pump work because I don't get DOMs from it, and it's keeping my arms in the state that they're in. So I'm just going to keep that level of volume. So just kind of pump work, which I've done all off season and all prep as well. And the arms have looked the best they've ever looked. So same with the biceps as well. Don't do any heavy weight for either. And that's kind of proved to be great, not only in terms of the look and the kind of round bubbly look that I'm trying to constantly strive towards, but also like the elbows have had no issues in a long time, which is brilliant. Obviously, at this portion of the prep where you've got no body fat, the joints are fairly dry. I'm noticing that my shoulders are feeling pretty done in, but not sore or anything, not painful, but the elbows have held up really well this time, so which is good. So yeah, so this is Thursday. I am 9 days out from the pro debut. So yeah, I can't believe how quick that's come in. So I started it, I think just over 21 weeks out, was the 1st of January, I think. So it's been the best prep I've ever done, hands down. Like the 2019 season, which was my most winningest season, didn't even come close in terms of how efficient I felt, how easily the physique has changed. We touched wood. I mean, I'm ready, so I can say stuff like that. So without jinxing it, but since day dot when I was 19, my first prep, I've been very meticulous with everything. But I think I've just kind of taken a whole new level with this as well. But on saying that though, it's been pretty stress free. So I feel like my health is great. I feel healthy-ish, but healthy-ish is still better than what I've done in the past. So no, it's definitely my favourite look. Everything about this year has just been so much better than even my best years as an amateur. So whatever happens next Saturday, I don't really care, to be honest, because I've surpassed 2024 and I'm in a far better place for it. So the plan now, so today is going to be a slight increase in food, nothing wild though, 100 gram of carbs, just to kind of pull me out slightly. But even then, it's not even that much. It's like a deck chair off the Titanic. And over the weekend, we'll definitely load fairly hard. The reason being is that I've got my flight, which is an 11-hour flight to LA on Tuesday. Now, I don't want to be carbing up on a flight. I don't really hold water on flights, never have, but guarantee you this will be the first year that I do. So I'm planning on doing like a moderate average day on Tuesday. So if I load before on the Saturday and Sunday, possibly even Monday, then I should be able to just say like almost there fullness wise, and then I kind of just hold it until I get to LA, get settled, and then if we need to push food further, we push food further. As we've done in 2024, as we did in 2019, just kind of monitoring the look and seeing how the look moves throughout the week, and then deciding, right, okay, just say 260 is the best look first thing in the morning. Let's just wake up 260 the day of the show, replicate a few things, maybe pull water back a tiny wee bit, and stand on stage. So that's the game plan. But no, like I said, it's been definitely one for the record books. 2026 has been the best prep of all time, and excited to see what I can do and hopefully make everyone proud. So anyway, enjoy the session. Hopefully I answer all the questions I can, and we'll take it from there. Cheers, guys. So the setup's still the same here. Right, actually start this now. We're going to do one working set with side delts. Like I said, when we were in performance gym in Irvine, with side delts, you can still go to failure a week out. It's not a problem. So we're just not doing our intensifiers. Like I said, all 3 sets to failure. The first back off and the second back off, we'll be adding a pause at the bottom. So a few folk can say, oh, I could change the settings, and I've just realised the settings are wrong. But I can change the settings on the machine. I'd rather just pause. It just feels a little bit better. So. So the first one here, been much of a change in your approach in your most recent off-season compared to the past two. So yeah, a massive difference. And the massive difference was I'd done a 14-week reverse off the back of the Pro Card win, going from a completely peeled state and just slowly, incrementally adding food was the game changer for me now, because in previous years, I have controlled myself more and more as the years have gone on. But this year was completely different to what I'd done in the past. I told myself, you're right, I'm a pro now, so I need to conduct myself even more rigidly. And it paid off massively. So by the time my off-season actually started in September 2024, I was still very, very lean. And I was on a mountain of food. And from that point, my body was just super responsive. To the point where 18 months later, I'm still super lean. And then that meant that, you know, I've grown a ton and I've started in a far better position, which has put me in a better position to hold on to tissue, which is why I think the look this year is drastically better to previous years. So. I'm guessing the question is, did I use the same training split I did for prep and off season? Yes. Chest, shoulders on a Monday with biceps, legs Tuesday, shoulders, triceps, and a little bit of chest on a Thursday, and back on a Friday, weekend off. I'd done that from the start of my reverse right up until this week. So the split never changed. So my client Lisa's asked, did you ever doubt you would get to this level? I don't want to sound like a cock when I say this. No. Even when I tore my shoulder in 2022, I still knew it was going to happen, like turning pro at least. Just from the very beginning, when I was 16, started competing when I was 19, I always knew that bodybuilding was my thing. And don't want to sound like too like airy-fairy, but I feel like this is what I was meant to do. If I were to be honest and had any doubts going forward, it would be how far can I take the Pro League? And I don't know. I really don't know, because that's what this season's for. It's to gauge how long I need and if a pro win down the line in years to come is possible. So hopefully that answers that one. See, my neck's been playing up a wee bit and the pec deck's actually been irritating. I would have done pec deck now, but I'm just going to do rear cable fly. Just to not aggravate any further. No, I've not had any food focus this prep at all. So even in 2024, 2021, 2022, I found myself towards the end just going on like restaurants, Instagram pages and stuff and salivating over that, but generally, like, I've not done that. I know exactly where I'm going after the Cali Pro. So in the UK, we don't have Cheesecake Factory. And then one of my mates, who's American, was just like, mate, that's bang average. I was like, not to a Scotsman, it's not. Cheesecake Factory is heaven on earth. And so we're definitely going there after the show. When I went to Louisiana back in November, I went to Cheesecake Factory by myself at like 11 o'clock at night. Didn't give a fuck. I need to watch, obviously, because you don't want to eat a ton of shit, a ton of salt, a ton of sauces your body's not used to, and then get an 11-hour flight and sit in a cramped space. I have got 2 weeks until the next show. I'm not one for holding water. I never really have. Even when I spill post-show, it comes off after 2-3 days, but you just never know. Right, downstairs. So I'm going to be a wee bit careful here. I'm not going to go up to the 70s today. Pretty much 'cause I don't have Kieran or Chris to help have their hands behind my elbows. Oh, there's a lot of crunching going on. Just a safety thing, so I'll just probably go to the 60s. So how's your mentality shifted this prep versus previous preps? Like, I've got no expectations this prep, first and foremost. That's helped my mentality massively. Not that I feel like I'm one to really be influenced by what other people think of me. I really don't care. Thus, and not in a bad way, I don't really care what people expect of me. I know what I expect of myself, and I know the standard I can be at and uphold. So that's basically how I've always been with every single prep, apart from the first one, obviously. So, but this time around, like I said, having no one, even saying that, when I was trying to get my pro card, when I was trying to get like the PCA overall, the NABA Britain overall, and that, there were like a lot of people saying, is he going to do it this year? Can you beat this guy? Can you beat that guy? And not having that has definitely been a positive anyway. So. I'm sure maybe other competitors can maybe weigh on this one. My hands, I don't really get fat hands or fat fingers, but my hands are obviously a lot leaner. But the handles and the dumbbells there really, really hurting my palms, because my palms are like bone now. So we should do one working set, and that's it. 8 to 12. Like I said at the start, I'll probably still take it to, no, I will take it to close to failure, because I don't like, you can bin it at the bottom, but there's no way my ability will be doing that, so I'll probably bin it like just before. It's not even like 1 rep in reserve, it's like half a rep in reserve. Like, I realised my tan's never been that bad on stage, right? But I always thought, why the fuck does it never sit really on my armpits? It's because I use antiperspirant too close to the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not use antiperspirant when I get to LA, which is disgusting because obviously LA is 30 degrees. I already sweat like fuck anyway. But I want my tan to sit perfectly, so yeah, I'll be stinking next week. Still just one working set here. I'll do one warm up though. I think 12 reps of the warm up. So I'll finish off with finish off chest with a cable fly. Contemplated pulling this volume out though, like the fly out, because by this point chest is pretty much done. As you saw with the angle that I used at the shoulder press, you see there's a lot of top and upper chest being used there, so the chest is hit, sorry, throughout the majority of the second push through, so. Does the IFBB or sponsors help with the cost of competing as a pro? So you don't have to pay to enter IFBB Pro shows. I guess, you know, they're making money off you being there. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about like an actual proper big name. And people obviously buy tickets off the back that you signed up to the show, so you don't have to pay in that regard. Trained by JP, they give me a very generous cost allowance or allowance per season, so that helps obviously greatly. Not to mention obviously, you know, what I get in supplements and clothing and things like that as well. So yes, they do help towards everything, which is obviously amazing. What are your goals? Do you plan on competing at the Olympia? I think everyone who's ever stood on stage plans to compete at the Olympia. Even if you know you're not going to go that far with it, you go, I wonder what it'd be like to be on the Olympia stage. But now that I'm a pro, like this first season, just for me to gauge and see whether that's realistic. I'm very much a realist, and you know, if the feedback's right, if I hear the right things, see the right things in myself, then I don't see why I shouldn't try and pursue that. Someone who has far better trivia knowledge of Scottish bodybuilding will be able to know if a Scotsman's actually ever stood on stage. I know Alex Smalls did it. Alex Smalls, done it back in 2022, I think, in fitness, but I'm talking about men's bodybuilding. So I'm sure there's some historian out there that'll be able to tell me if that is the case, because obviously Olympia's been running since 1965, I want to say. Larry Scott is the first Mr. Olympia, so that name has to come from somewhere. But technically, he was American, but so I don't know if I would be, if it were to happen, if I would be the first Scotsman to ever stand in open on an Olympia stage. So, but yeah, that would ultimately be the goal essentially. So, but like I said, I'm just seeing how this season goes, and just seeing what the crack is, and seeing what kind of feedback I get. So anyone watching the channel who's going to be at any of the shows, please give me your feedback. So yeah, the arm training, biceps and triceps has not changed from peak off season to peak prep. Again, just fluff work. I know I've said it about a million times, but arms just grow, for me, just very easily without having to pound them. So, and plus, I really enjoy training like this. Like, see, tracking lifts and stuff like that for my arms. Unless my arms were a weakness, I wouldn't do it. I will never do it, sorry, for arms. But so long as they continue to grow with just doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing it. So, like, always, it's quite funny when you see genetic freaks, you watch them train, you're just like, Jesus, mate, put a bit of fucking effort in. But then, if I could look like that without putting effort in, I'm not putting effort in. So, put it that way. One. Right guys, so that finishes up shoulders and tris and a wee bit of chest. So as you saw, the session was just very much bare minimum, just trying to hold the muscle there, not trying to break it down, not trying to put myself in more of a hole, fatigue and tiredness wise. So as I mentioned, the chest and the shoulders for me are two pivotal body parts that I need to keep in a good place fullness wise. And we all kind of say like you have to get flat to get in shape. That's absolutely true. But certain body parts, depending on your genetic makeup, need to stay and remain somewhat full. So, if my chest is too flat, it takes ages to come back. If my shoulders are too flat, it takes ages to come back. And then it just takes away from my physique because I'm very lower dominant. It distorts the illusion, it distorts my taper, and it distorts my size, makes my waist look bigger. So I need to ensure that everything is popping through the chest and shoulders. So by pulling my volume, that actually ensures that everything kind of stays looking the way it needs to look. So as you saw from the posing room there, I think I'm not flat at all. I was just say kind of deflated. So just saying to Kieran there, is that the day of the show I compete at 11 o'clock in the morning. My plan was to do 2 meals anyway, but going off those visuals there, I think 2 meals is definitely what I'm going to do. So I get a pump, no problem at all. So yeah, it's just for the next, from probably Monday, not Tuesday though, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're just going to obviously put some food in, analyse the look, and just kind of sit and kind of decide what weight we need to be at in order to be the best look on stage. So kind of throwing around numbers in my head, probably looking maybe 257, 258, maybe up to maybe 260, which is where I thought I'd land anyway. So we'll see. Other than that, guys, thanks for the questions. And I'll do a thank you to, first and foremost, Future Fitness. Credit to Nick Vandal. He's been helping me for, 2026? So, yeah, 11, 12 years now. So he's been the man in the corner for that entire time. And obviously I worked with Patrick in 2020, 2021, but I still had Nick kind of there as well. And I think we've done a great job this season. We just need to see what happens on stage. Obviously, Eloise, Kieran, Chris, everyone at Future Fitness, trained by JP, Addison Sports Therapy, and SK Wellness as well. So thanks to everyone for helping. Of course, Craig for sitting through sessions he's filmed 4 million times. And thanks to everyone who follows as well. So hopefully it's a good look. Hopefully we can celebrate a good package on next Saturday, and then obviously the 2 shows after it as well. So it's pretty cool to be the only open pro in Scotland, representing Scotland. So anyway, guys, subscribe, like, comment, all that sort of stuff, and I'm sure the live stream will be somewhere for the Cali Pro. Cheers.